Toothless, and I'm the director of the Rock Music School. I'm here with Steve Wright, director of Toothless Guitars, and today we're in Maidstone at Studio 6 interviewing the Wild Things. Hey guys, how are you doing? We good?
We're great, thank you.
Better for that sing song.
Love it. So I wanted to start with a random fact like you do on your singles club.
Oh, nice. Very good.
So my random fact for you is a snail can sleep for 3 years.
I'm jealous of snails.
Amazing.
What, in one go?
Can you imagine waking up after that though? Like, you feel rubbish, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
In one go.
I didn't think they lived for that long.
Neither did I.
So they can sleep for that long. Apparently.
Every day's a school day. Look at that.
For sure.
Exactly. And yeah, I want to say a huge congrats on your recent tour in the States with The Who. Yeah, tell us about it.
I mean, it was the whole kind of journey of us as a band has been mental because we obviously, me and Rob knew Pete from a while back from doing a show with him. And
Townsend, not me.
Townsend, not Pete, our wonderful drummer.
Nobody knows this Pete.
I know him, and that's what counts. Yeah, so we just got cheeky and kind of emailed him our music over the years, and he kept going like, "This is rubbish. This is awful."
No,
really?
No, it's good though. You know, it was like harsh criticism, and then we grew on.
So did he work alongside you to help you?
No,
He just
not
left,
at all.
Left
He was like,
your
"You just have a lot of
devices.
growing to do," you know, because we did. And then we carried on writing, and we wrote the beginnings of what is our now unreleased record, Afterglow, with him, together, and then we sent it to him and he was like, cool, let's go in the studio. So we did, and then we never really expected anything more to come of that because that was an honour in itself. Yeah. And then he was like, cool, just come play with us. We were like, okay, that's
Amazing.
fine. I'm probably, omitting a lot of stuff because it's a very long story, but it was wild. And they just kind of went, all right, how about Royal Albert Hall? You want to do that one? We're like, okay, that's fine.
And what an amazing gig that was as well.
Yeah.
There's so many bands playing there.
I mean, it's a legendary venue. It's an incredible, beautiful place, and for that to be our first proper, large-scale, big show, it was like, pinch me kind of moment.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
surreal, just incredible. What an experience. And then we carried on getting to have those experiences. We're very lucky, very blessed. We don't take it for granted.
So what venues did you play in America? So I've got Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
MGM in Vegas.
2 nights in Vegas, in the MGM. We did our own show in New York in a place called the Mercury Lounge, which is this cool little club. We just put on our own nights straight after Madison Square Garden because, why not?
Yeah.
We're there.
Absolutely.
And then, I guess On the Ocean doesn't count, but we did do the Kiss Cruise, and we were playing a whole bunch. So that's not really America. Yeah, Madison Square Garden was our first ever American show, and then we sort of went on to Vegas from there.
Yeah.
So but hopefully more this year,
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it. What size crowds were you playing to then? What was the biggest one?
Madison, wasn't it?
Square,
Yeah.
I think it's 17,500.
Yeah,
Really?
and it was sold out, I think.
That's amazing. What's it like playing to a crowd of that size? Were you terrified? How did you prepare for that?
Rehearsals.
Yeah. You can't.
It feels the same as in the rehearsal room, really, because you rehearse it so much that you just if I say you're going through the motions, that sounds really bad, and it's not that. But you've done it so many times that you just kind of switch off to that side and just enjoy being around each other.
Yeah, it is like, I think there's this thing that we always prescribe to, that if you are having fun on stage, the audience will have fun with you.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we really make it a lot of fun between us, and because we're like best buddies or brother and sister or married or whatever we are, it's always fun to be in that group, and then I don't want to say force it onto the crowd, but you know what I mean.
Like, feel the energy.
Enjoy us.
Do you find that hard? Because where I played gigs previously, and you got the lights on you, it's like playing to a black curtain.
You can't
so you can barely see them.
You can see all the people in the front, obviously. I mean, again, for us, it was quite different because this audience doesn't necessarily know who we are yet. So we have to win them over as well. Yeah. But again, I think that element of having fun comes into it. And you just kind of forget who's up at the back.
This is where I was coming to. I mean, how do you know that they're having fun? Until you finish the song.
You have no idea.
I know.
Absolutely no idea. It's the same at every big show we've ever played. It's only after coming off and people telling us, whether it's like our crew or like actual people in the audience coming up to us and telling us, we'd have no idea. Because we can't hear anything other than each other anyway.
Yeah.
And especially with Madison Square Garden, the only thing I could think of was, it is so cold. Because there's an ice rink under the floor. It's an ice rink because they do the hockey there.
Yeah.
So it was so freezing. The only thing I was concerned about was like my nose is running and my face is like 20 times the size on the screen. You can just see streaming nose. It was so you forget.
That must be quite hard playing guitar. Cold hands and that, because
I find it hard to play guitar. Anyway.
fantastic. I love your honesty.
Yeah.
No, it was a challenge. It was a surprising challenge. Everywhere we played was a challenge in the nicest, most exciting possible way, because the shows were so big and wild. There was no rhythm. It's not like you built up to playing these situations.
Yeah.
You just the experience was so hard to keep a hold of. The job was to forget that you were playing music and just to remember to experience the minute, because it goes by so quickly.
It really does.
If you don't take half a second to stop and just go, oh, this is really special, then you'll just go off and be like, I had it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about the Kiss cruise, so that's going to be one of my questions about that anyway. Tell us about that. How was it? Is it really going to be the last one?
I mean, I can't speak for that. Like, I can't speak officially, but when we were on there, we were all told it was the last one, and then during one of their shows, they were like, we're doing this again next year, so probably not. But that's the nature of Kiss, isn't it? So.
What we've heard is no makeup.
So that was it.
That was the last one.
Because
No
they
makeup.
were full on makeup.
They had everything.
Which
it
is
was
great.
insane.
It's amazing,
Yeah, absolutely insane.
And if you want to learn how to put on a show,
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that too. I thought that.
I just got images of them like struggling, getting on stage with the spikes on their shoulder, like going through the little doors and stuff like that, and they go sideways.
Doing that.
The show,
I didn't think
one
of
of the
that,
shows that we saw, there were like 70 mile per hour winds going on, so they had to cancel all the shows on the deck. And they was playing in this theatre, but we were sort of stood in the audience going like this. So God knows how they were in like 16-inch platforms to it, but they did it, they nailed it, they always do.
Professionals.
Experts.
For professionals.
Yeah.
So tell us about your plans for the future. We hear you have a second album coming out with Pete Townshend.
Yes.
And your first ever European tour as well.
Yeah, we go next week. We've had about a week to prepare. So none of us have started thinking about it yet, so I'm sure come tomorrow we will be quite stressed. But no, we're very excited for that.
It's I've seen your itinerary for it as well, and it is quite a zigzag a tour as well. And
It's
it is
insane.
quite relentless in the small amount of time as well.
Yeah, I mean, the benefit to it is that aside from doing America and all the other places that we did last year, we put on this thing, we called it the world tour that's not really, what is it called? Because
2022 world tour that's technically not a tour.
that.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
that was the whole of last year, and because we've done so much traveling like that, and definitely like doing it at the bare minimum, we know that we're very good at traveling with each other and keeping each other close and giving each other the space that we need and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we can just snap.
Yeah, I mean, do you see yourself writing while you're tour bus you're going on?
Yeah, for sure.
Having that time travelling to and fro, you are going to be sick of each other, or you're going to make it creative, aren't you?
Yeah, we 100%.
it'll be a bit of both.
Yeah, definitely sick of each other. Definitely creative.
Creatively sick of each other.
There it is. We'll find time for sure.
Does travelling inspire you to write songs?
Ask me in a month.
Yeah.
It could create ideas and stories as well.
Absolutely.
And I can see why people do write on tour. It must be quite inspiring.
Yeah, we tried it on the M4, but it was just like Spa, Cinnabon,
You got Chris Rea, look what he come out with. It's 25,
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a very interesting exercise for us, it being the first time, but can't wait.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Sydney and Rob, as well as the band, you both have an amazing acting career as well.
Thank you, yeah.
How do you find time for both? Do you find yourself sometimes torn between acting and band practice?
For me, I can only speak for me on this. For me, I've just got very lucky that the acting work has actually never affected the band work somehow, scheduling wise. Touch wood, it stays that way. But also, I don't think there's much of a conflict for me, again, I hope there's no directors listening. I'm not very good at being told what to do. I don't like it.
Yep, fair enough.
Get that. There, yeah.
So I love acting, but the second you're like, maybe do it this way, I'm like, why? Why do it that way? I want to do it my way. How's that sound? So music, especially our own music, is for me a much greater creative sort of outlet, I suppose. So I don't, agent, if you're listening, I prefer music, but I didn't say that.
There's no agency. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but you, I mean, cut that.
I mean, I'm a boy, so my thing is just the thing that's in front of me is the thing I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
That's it. Could be dinner, it could be Bridgeton. I don't really know. It's not, if it's there, I was going to.
Yeah, that's been done now.
That's
That is such a bad thing. Like, just one thing at a time, isn't it? Like, you can't go right. You got that project on that, but no, I'm just doing that today.
Yeah. If you don't divvy up your time, we'll come back.
Just described Rob.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then Pete and Cam, any spare time activities for you guys as well? We've been skating together, so I know that's one thing.
Awesome.
You've tried to teach me, I say, how to skate, and I'm terrible at it. And I know you're really good at it, so.
Clearly not a good teacher.
No, I'm just awful.
It's a sore subject with the band because I dislocated my shoulder last year.
Now, just before Hyde Park.
That's the
2 weeks before Hyde Park.
Yeah, that's right. So what happened there? Was that?
I fell over.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Full
You
story.
didn't fall. You didn't fall over,
It's
did you?
It's a sad story though. So bear in mind that I can skate, like aggressive skate on skate parks, no problem.
Aggressive skating.
I was skating to go.
I skate aggressive.
I was skating to go and pick my car up.
Aggressively.
And I stepped over a speed ramp and put my foot down too quickly, and the back wheels got shot out from under me.
I
And
know,
went
me
over
too.
and popped my shoulder. To the point where I was struggling to breathe. And it turned out when I saw the X-ray, it was because my arm bone was resting against my ribcage. So
2 weeks before we played Hyde Park.
So you still did Hyde Park,
So how did
right?
you have to overcome that then? Did you have physio or?
Yeah.
Well,
physio.
if you go on our social media, you'll see videos for it. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. The whole story. The whole story.
Yeah, there is footage of me having my arm put back in around.
Wow.
That was pretty metal.
But yeah, so I was on morphine and gas and air. So
Yeah.
and bless her, there was no ambulances at the time, so I had to get my mum to drive me to hospital.
Oh,
And as soon as they said they would put me on gas and air, I gave her my phone and just said, "Film this."
Yeah.
The video was
Right.
amazing.
The video is great. Very funny.
We'll have to watch that later then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the encore.
What do
Really?
you
It's
do
gonna
for
project
fun,
those two.
Cam?
yeah.
Oh, I don't do fun.
Cam doesn't
You
do
don't do
fun.
fun.
I'm the bass player.
I'm starting a new business called the Rock Music School, as you know, Pete. And we're going to be teaching kids and adults how to play guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and how to play in their very own rock band in Maidstone.
That's amazing.
With local performance opportunities and the option to perform at the Kids Rock Festival every year.
Very cool.
What advice would you give to aspiring musicians?
Keep going.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it sounds so cliche, but don't give up. I mean, for every no that we've ever gotten, it's so worth it. Just to, I think surround yourself with people who are like-minded and have the same sort of tenacity as you. The people that you love to play music with, and just keep going, keep practicing.
Don't take no from us.
No, and for singers, remember that your voice is a muscle as well. Don't stop training it. I was terrible at guitar lessons, but that didn't mean that I wanted to stop playing. So just keep going, and eventually something will click into place.
Personally, I've seen Pete. You've worked hard at it, and I mean.
Aggressive.
You've been working aggressively at it, and do you know what? I mean, you got yourself this far through hard work, and I've seen you. You have been non-stop. You play there, you play with this person, that person. I mean, to be playing in the Wild Things now.
It's been a long road. I started playing guitar when I was 5, drums when I was 6. I had a guitar teacher from quite a young age who was amazing with me, and I got on really well with. But drums are pretty much completely self-taught. It was about 15 years of playing before I had a lesson with somebody. And even then it was kind of on and off. So yeah, it's been a graft, but a fun one. And finding these guys who you say I work hard, right? These guys work harder than you've ever seen me work.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you get to do what we've been able to do in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Is by working hard and ignoring the no's.
Yeah, I think a lot of people assume the music industry is just like,
Luck.
cool, yeah, you'll play like a gig and then everybody will love you and it's really easy, man, and touring is easy. It's the amount of stuff, especially in today's day and age with social media and streaming and all of this stuff. It's so much. I'm also not trying to discourage anyone here, but it is so much harder than you think it is on the surface of what you see. For like the 30-second video you see on Instagram or TikTok, there is like 30 hours of work before that, and a team of people, a whole team of people that you don't see.
It's the iceberg analogy.
It's exactly, it's the iceberg thing.
You see the tip of the iceberg, but the glacial amount that's underneath the surface of the water.
But I mean,
nobody sees.
But that's another thing. Like if you're really serious about going into it, look into all of that stuff, study it. Like don't just play songs and hope for the best. Like really look into your market, because that's how you suddenly sort of make sense of little bits and put the jigsaw together, and then you can really like find your own niche along with your music, you know? That sounds so boring. I promise we're more rock and roll and exciting than that.
Well, this is it. I think you hit it, like, find your own niche.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many bands out there doing so many different styles. Styles replicate throughout the years, and you know what? There's only so many notes you can play, and it is difficult to try and sound different.
But it's also taken us this long to find that sound. Like if I sent you some demos, I'm not going to, but if I sent you some demos from like even 6 years ago,
we can swap demos.
You would be like, I'm sorry, what is this rubbish? Which is what Pete Townshend said to us, basically. You know, he was like, guys, this, you know, you need to kind of grow up a bit, which is fine, because you do grow, you do find your sound. And it maybe takes 6 months, it maybe takes 6 years, but it will happen. You just keep going on. To go back a question, I apologise.
Listeners, if you would like to learn how to play in your very own rock band, like the Wild Things, we are signing up new students today. Head over to the rockmusicschool.co.uk to sign up. Limited spaces are available. There's my little shameless plug there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I have a couple more questions for you. In true rock star fashion, have you ever smashed up your instruments?
Never.
No.
Far too expensive to do that.
Okay. Well, Steve here from Toothless Guitars does guitar servicing and repairs if you ever do decide to go all rock star and smash up your instruments.
Thank you. Maybe tonight is the night.
I've seen his work. It's the first person I'll go to. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. He can also create some beautiful designs as well on guitars. And his website is toothlessguitars.co.uk.
Nice plug.
Finally, last couple of questions. What bands would you say are a big influence for you?
We get this question so often and we never know how to answer.
Sorry.
We all come from exceptionally different backgrounds of that.
Yeah.
Like
it's an ever evolving thing. It just depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Where you are. What you're doing.
The focus is the song. You know, it's the main thing.
It's not necessarily one artist.
You know, and every song's really good. It's whatever makes the best song.
We're a mix. Yeah, we're a hybrid.
Love that.
That's good though. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
that's why we write
need a nice mix to make a unique sound.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
Love it. And finally, Steve's daughter Luna, I would like to know, what's your favourite song to play?
Oh, hi Luna. Am I allowed to say one that's on the new record? Okay, a shrug from Cam means I think so. Because you're usually in charge. Cam produced the record with Townshend, so I like to make sure. We've got a track. It's called Make Our Own Way There. You won't have heard it yet, obviously, but you will soon. And you'll hear it tonight. It's one of my favourites. That, and we've got a cover song we released by a certain band. You might have heard of them, you might not, called ABBA. And that one is also quite fun. They gave me a megaphone. You'll see why.
ABBA did.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. time today, guys.
No problem,
I'm a bit worried
thank
about
you.
time and stuff, so yeah, have a great show. I'm really
Thank
looking forward
you.
to hearing you guys play live for the first time.
It's going to be an amazing show. Studio 6 as well.
Yeah,
Best
thank you so
venue in
much,
town.
Studio 6. This
Nice
place is
art.
sick.
I
Thank
think
you.
You guys are going to smash it.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Thank you.
Can't
Lovely.
wait.
That's a wrap.
Cheers to your
God
time.
bless you. Thank you, guys.
No, I really appreciate that.
Thank you.